Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between HuK and RoO on Ruins of Endion. In the bottom right side of the map we have the red Protoss player, it is HuK. And in the bottom left side of the map we have the blue Terran player, it is RoO. With a capital O at the end, I'm not sure what that signifies, other than being camel case. Alright, so a PvT today for you guys. I'm still waiting on DreamHack to release the replays, and it's been a week since it ended. And I asked them about it on Twitter, but they haven't responded, so I'm not entirely sure if they're actually going to release them, but I'll keep on it. And hopefully they will, because DreamHack had some really amazing replays I'd like to bring you guys. And let's get right on into this game. Alright, so here we have HuK not opening Nexus first, it would be right here if it was, and the blue Terran player RoO not opening Command Center first as well. But yes, I'm going to assume this is a Reaper opening based on that gas timing. Maybe the refinery's a little bit early here, but that's okay, we'll see how this works out. And I'm going to assume that HuK will open up, let's see, one gate expand, maybe into Adepts, maybe into Stalkers, we'll have to see what's going on. Alright, you guys, one more announcement. I wrote a book. Yes, I did. It is called Time Traveler Patient Zero. It is a science fiction book set in the present day about time travel. I figured you would know that based on the title, but hey, explaining things is one of the things that I do best. Oh no, probe harassment. Get inside there, SCV. SCV, run. No, don't go there. Get the... okay, he's out of danger right now. But the SCV, okay, just basically got it to a point where it indeed would be able to get out of there and let the supply depot be completed by somebody else. And there's actually a Marine popping out here. Good timing by HuK to get the probe out before whatever it is pops on out. If it was a Reaper, the probe would die, but no, it was just a Marine. Just a Marine. Anyway, there is a book that I wrote. There's a link in the description here. It is on Amazon. It is a digital book, which means you can get it for your Kindle. You can get it for your Kindle app on your phone, your iPhone or your Android phone. They both have that Kindle app ready and waiting for you. So go ahead and click the link, check it out. It's not the most amazingly long, epic book of all time, but I hope it's a pretty fun read. If you're interested in checking that stuff out, I would really appreciate the support on that one. And give it, again, a look in the link in the description of this video. Alright, so enough about that one. Heading on up here is a Stalker, and Marines are going to try to knock down this rock tower to protect them from the Stalker that is coming. I believe there might be enough DPS with this third Marine that has shown up to actually knock these down maybe before the Stalker arrives. Oh, the Stalker's actually taking a quick detour on that zone like a watchtower. Wants to get in here before the rock tower knocks that down. And yes, the Stalker does get there and does manage to pick off a Marine. One Marine? Yes, one Marine there. Pretty good stutter step there from RoO, however. He really wants that rock tower down, but the Stalker not allowing that to happen. Another Marine dies. Great micro by HuK. But what else can we expect from this Protoss player we've known for so many years? Well done. Well done. 3 Marine kills on that Stalker. The Stalker going to head on up and see what else it can see. Checking for an expansion, perhaps. But this is essentially, well, I mean, it's not really a one-base play, but this command center is a little bit late. Especially considering HuK already has a natural and a third base on the way here. And a mothership core harassment heading over. What are you doing, HuK? I don't see any probes for photon overcharge, for a pylon for photon overcharge, but there's a Widow Mine there. Medevac popping out too. You need to burrow. Burrow, Widow Mine. Burrow. I know you're worried about oracles coming over, but mothership cores are all super annoying as well. Gonna try to get in there. There's the burrow, but great micro on display by HuK, and gonna pick those Marines up and go over for a drop. Yeah, just gonna drop as long as the mothership core isn't home, says RoO. I can drop in here and kill a ton of stuff. There's no photon overcharge to stop that from happening. Great reaction, great read from RoO to figure that one out there. Gateway coming up, Blink coming up here too, but guess what? There are 3 Marines rather, and a Widow Mine. Gonna try to burrow and actually try to prevent the mining in this main base. Shuts it down entirely. So here comes the mothership core. Able to throw down a photon overcharge somewhere on that pylon if she wants to. Another pylon being warped in by HuK. And might actually choose to back on out here. There's a couple Stalkers and a mothership core. 3 Marines is good, but it's not enough to actually handle this many Protoss units. So actually going to choose to instead try to get up here and kill some stuff. But no, one Marine ends up falling. Another one dies too. One tries to boost on up and run away as the Stalker chases it on out. But the Widow Mine is still here. Widow Mine is still here. If you bring your probes back, that will be a bad look, HuK. Don't do it. I think he just sent him up here, though. He's not worried about sending workers back to this mineral line, as he knows there was a Widow Mine. He saw it. I don't think he knows where it is exactly. No, Widow Mine shot. Nope, couldn't quite get it off there, but has expanded in the meantime. Here is RoO. RoO's continuing to make Marines. He's getting stim here at the same time. And a robotics facility just about to wrap up for HuK. And there it is, robotics facility, just warping on in. And I assume it's going to be an observer. Indeed it is. Observer on the way for our Protoss friend. Usually the first unit that they pop out of that robo facility is going to be the observer. And yeah, once we go from there, probably immortals. We could see disruptors just based on the fact there's a lot of bio here and a cyclone. Alright, so I like the cyclone play. Usually it's over here in the main though, worried about warp prisms coming in to kill stuff, as cyclones are very good at base defense with that cyclone. But however, not the location that it's in right now. I think RoO needs to get a third base. He has 41 harvesters to 49 for HuK. HuK able to get that third base up and running was massive. He's still, I guess they did take out that Widow Mine. He had the Observer, so yeah, the Observer and the Stalkers were able to take that sucker out. Observer now popping on out for round 2 and mission number 2 that it has been given, coming to scout the enemy base. Going to see a lot of barracks coming up, a lot of bio play. A third command center is under construction here for our Terran player, and just doing more and more Marines with combat shield on the way. 13 Marines, a Widow Mine, and a Cyclone is what we have here from our Terran player. So interesting composition indeed. No Marauders to speak of, and there is a tank on the way. I was going to say, you got to have something. And Marauders too. Okay, so tanks and Marauders coming up. Not a pure Marine Cyclone play, which would be super odd. A Resonating Glaives on the way here at the Twilight Council, increasing the attack speed of Adepts by 45%, which is super useful. Always get that. If you're going to get Adepts, Protoss players, be sure to get that upgrade, as it will do you super duper well in the future. Just increasing that DPS a lot. Possibly scouting out for a third base. Yeah, going to knock down these rocks for a fourth base. I apologize. HuK already had a third. Keep forgetting he's had that third for about 4 minutes now. It was crazy micro on display there. So flying tank and some Marines with the +1/+1. Not quite yet. +1 attack is just about there. Combat shield and stim just about to wrap up here too. Observer sees all. HuK sees everything that is going on. Another observer checking out the exact timing on that third base land. It's 49 to 66 harvesters. HuK is playing this super well. APM for these players, well over 300 for RoO. HuK is around the 270 mark, maybe 300 on a spike. But again, Protoss doesn't really require a ton of APM, at least not in these early stages of the game. When you start throwing down force fields and psionic transfers on the Adepts, things can get different. But Warp Prism here for HuK, going to be able to warp in those reinforcements. Is this just a 3 observer line? It is 1, 2, 3 observer line for HuK. Just making sure that he knows exactly what's going on in the Terran base. RoO has really has shown no indication that he knows that these are there, which is going to be a problem for him. Either way, these rocks do get knocked down. As I've said before in this map, the quickest point between these two bases is this, but you have to knock down 2 sets of rocks to get there. So it's not really a good rush thing, but towards the mid-game, this generally does tend to happen. So these Blink Stalkers could blink up into the main base here, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and give it a shot. Warp Prism going to ferry stuff into the main base here too, and there's a Cyclone going to try to get some shots off. But man, these Stalkers are mean. They don't have any upgrades right now. They almost have +1/+1, but not quite. And yes, Marines are getting taken down. Marines and Marauders stimming up here, trying to kill everything that they can, doing very well. Good positioning there by RoO. Can he snipe down that Mothership core? I think he should try to focus it down, and he does manage to get it. He does take everything down that was inside that Warp Prism, but these Stalkers are out for blood. They're not running at all until that tank starts shelling them. Wow. Tank doing extra damage to the armored units here. 50 damage versus armored, as these Stalkers are. So pretty good push there by HuK, but not quite good enough to kill his Terran opponent. It's now 62 to 66 harvesters. Really harvesting well up here. The third base is RoO, having caught up to HuK. HuK has not taken a fourth at all. Choosing instead to be very aggressive at this point, not really out macroing, but he is making 4 Archons simultaneously. That is a lot of Archons, ladies and gentlemen. Really good against these bio compositions as well, doing extra splash damage against biological units, which Marines and Marauders are. Just a good choice for any Protoss looking to take out a Terran opponent. Infantry weapons level 2 being researched. Armor level 1 on the way here too, so not exactly on the +2/+2 road is RoO, but he should be okay. No big deal. Blink Stalkers continuing to be aggressive here. There's that 4th Nexus now getting warped in by HuK. Another blink into the main by these Blink Stalkers. They are trying to take down what they can. Getting rid of add-ons just does seem to be a good idea as they snipe down that reactor. Coming in here again, our Marines and Marauders chasing them away, using that concussive shell to slow the Stalkers down, and no, blinks away. The Stalker manages to get the heck on out of there. Again, these observers are performing an essential function for HuK. Really allowing to see everything that's going on inside this base. Pushing up again, though, is HuK. He has Archons, he has Stalkers, he has Adepts. Where are his immortals? Are they playing defense? No, just being a little pokey. Heading on up here. Going to join his buddies soon enough. I assume immortals are dudes. And just based on the voice that you hear in-game when you select them, it's very like... Well, it's robotic too, though. I don't know. Robot dudes. Whatever. So, good scan by RoO, seeing exactly the composition and where HuK is. HuK does not like that. Does not like knowing that his opponent knows where he is. Coming up here is a Warp Prism flying directly into a missile turret, though. And is it going to get taken down before anything else happens? Yes, it does. But big attack here. Great positioning by the Archons right up at the front, taking tank shots here as well. All that's left, though, is the Stalkers. Stalkers not looking good here against RoO. And indeed, oh, the Immortal gets sniped on down immediately, and here comes RoO. He is up 156 to 118 total supply. Army supply right now is definitely favoring the Terran player. Just stimming forward with everything that he's got. Is going to take down this 4th base. HuK doing nothing to prevent that from happening, and there it goes. There's the explosion. Goodbye, Nexus. Photon Overcharge up here, but at this stage of the game, when the upgrades are so good for the Terran army, it's just not as good of a spell as you would expect it to be. Depowering both of the forges. Here come the Adepts right on top of these tanks. They're going to go ahead and finish that psionic transfer, and there it is! Being destroyed here by the Marines and the Marauders, giving as good as they get, though. Sitting on the high ground, though. Here come the Stalkers trying to snipe down, getting a Liberator in the air. Another tank coming on through. Tank doing so well against those Adepts. Very, very low health Adepts here, but HuK does manage to push back against this. Defender mode being used on the Liberators. One Liberator is sniped down, but one is still back here, doing 85 damage per hit, taking down a Stalker. As you can see, it's blue flames down there. Continuing to push is RoO. He just has a small handful of Marines and Marauders. A few medevacs, though. This one's not healing. I guess it might be out of energy, and it was actually out of energy. Wow, a lot of healing going down so far. It's 125 to 98. Total supply 67 to 66. Total Harvester is going to pull back a little bit here. Is RoO. The army looking more aggressive for HuK. Wants to replant that 4th base, if at all possible, and I have to imagine that it is. It looks like our friend RoO wants to take this base too, knocking down the rocks. Prevent that from happening, though. Here comes HuK. Pushing in here with the Adepts and the Stalkers, but that's all he really has. And it's just not a great composition. You really got to get that tier 3 of some kind. Got to get Archons. Got to get, I don't know, Oracles, Void Rays. Ooh, maybe Tempest. There we go. Fleet Beacon on the way to deal with those Liberators. Tempest very good against Liberators. Just long-range sniping ability. Not so great at the DPS, just because their fire rate is so slow. But can really handle Tempest from a distance, which is really what Protoss needs. So here comes HuK again. Is he going to let this finish? No, just a scout. Just a quick scout. Nothing too insane there. 4th base sitting in the R2 Observer. Once again, HuK's vision throughout this game has just been absolutely impressive. Okay, this Observer might just die. And it will, because he sat underneath, or sat over where a missile turret was being built. RoO does not want this 4th base to come up at all. There go the 3-4 Defender mode circles there, shelling the base. HuK needs to save this one. The Adepts coming in once again. Can they kill everything here? And there's the psionic transfer. Right on top of everything again, the Archons, ooh, taking shots from the Liberators, though, just sniping through the ground, and that's it, a GG from HuK. HuK is defeated, RoO is victorious, and HuK has left the game. Woo, great play there by RoO. Just fantastic compositional choices. I loved the Liberators added in the late game. HuK was not able to respond to it in time. The upgrades weren't the best from RoO. Really only got +2, +1. He did have +3, +2 on the way, but never was able to make use of it here at the 13-minute mark. So again, you know, he's not Marine Lord, but again, not many people are. And HuK's upgrades were +2 attack and +2 armor, so he did as best as he could at this point, working on that +3, but just not enough. Not enough to deal with this composition. The tank count was not too high for HuK. The Marine count was not too high. The Liberators doing what they could, and there was just no answer for it from HuK. The Archons didn't do as well as he expected them to do, and he was forced to tap out. So that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.